Hello, welcome to my channel where I navigate chronic illness while trying to live my best life. I hope you're doing okay. I am doing all right. I am so proud of myself right now for being out of the house. I cannot tell you the night I have. I probably will later. It was horrible, panic attack, whatever. I got through it and I'm so proud of myself, but I'm actually out of the house. My husband was like, "You're coming with me." So I got myself ready real quick and here I am. I'm going absolutely nowhere important. I'm just going to the grocery store to get some coffee. But hey, I'm out and I feel really proud of myself for being out and doing anything in this moment, especially because living in the desert, it's like 96 degrees outside. Like, isn't that crazy? I'll see you guys soon. Home and I feel fine. Everything is fine. Everything is okay. Actually, that was a lot. I had to write in the room because my POTS, I took POTS medications, but it didn't kick in enough for me to be able to walk. Just getting out of the car and walking into the grocery store, I felt so nauseous. It's ridiculous. And my heart was just going crazy. It's been like, last week I feel like I had a pretty good week. I was pretty proud of myself. Yes, I got tired going to a birthday party and I had to rest, and then I got my lupus rash, but those are like all symptoms because I was doing something. Yesterday, I started to try on some clothes because it's getting hot where I live and I've been dropping weight. And so I'm recording. And so, I just wanted to get up in my room. I didn't go anywhere and I was trying on different clothes, seeing what I fit, what I don't fit anymore. And my POTS just took over and really made it impossible. And I was like, I am going to push through this because I just want to get this done. I want to have everything figured out. And with POTS, you can't just push through it. That's not how POTS works. POTS is going to keep on elevating until you take that pause to take care of it. And I had my beta blockers in me, but it just didn't matter. It was all too much. Right now, I am nauseous just sitting up and talking. And I was actually up and like taking things off and putting them on and doing all of that, and it just took a lot out of me. And it of course upset me because I'm in my house trying on clothes and I can't even do that. I remember when I used to be able to go to the mall when I was younger and be out all day shopping, going store to store, fitting room to fitting room and all of that, and now I can't even go through 2 drawers in my dresser and decide what is going to fit, not fit, what I have to put away, whatever the system is that I created. And so late last night, I think this is why that happened, but I ended up being in very much, like I could feel the anxiety building and building and building and building until, I mean, my husband's sound asleep in the bed and I have to just lay on him, and I'm hoping that would calm me. Like I'm laying on his chest, trying to listen to his heart, just trying to like get myself together. And that is, it all came out. Like I cried. I couldn't understand why I was crying. My poor husband, his chest was all like wet. And I'm just trying to not wake him up, but it's waking him up. And I'm trying to calm myself down, but I don't really know what I'm trying to calm myself down about. It just was a surge of emotion. Like, you know, when you start feeling that pressure and you know it's coming. I'm very much not a crier, but I've been crying a lot more in the last year, few months. I mean, it's not like an all the time thing, but when I have those attacks, it just is so overwhelming that I lack the control to be like, I can deal with this. I'm okay. No, that's not what happens. It just all needs to come out. And there's no other choice but for me to deal with it. I actually wrote, I'm sorry, I'm nauseous. I actually wrote down, because that's one of the things I do, is I write whenever I feel those type of feelings. And I wrote down, I haven't reread it, so we're gonna see what I wrote together. It's sometimes when I'm in those modes, I kind of forget all the things that are swarming in my head after I feel better. And so when I reread things or relook at things, I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm able to decipher better what I was feeling and why I was feeling that way after the fact. But then I kind of don't even remember what I was feeling until I read it anyways. So this is what I had wrote to try to get all my feelings out. Oh. This is me being very open and sharing more than what I share probably with 95% of people in my life, not putting it on the internet. I'm not saying this is going to be something profound that I am reading. It's just my personal feelings, and so it's a lot to share. But if it helps somebody, if someone can relate, I'll share. So it's wild thoughts, a slap in the face, a sudden onset of feelings, overwhelmed and unable to breathe, untamed emotions, sickened with grief, hurt, pain, heartbroken, unsure, scared. Thoughts trail off, swirls in my chest, butterflies in my stomach, trying to grasp at some sense of peace. Gratitude not lost, hope exists, a weakened moment trying to process, loving me through it, though I know it'll happen again. I'm okay. I'm always okay. I say this all through tears in my eyes, hoping expressing it relieves the lump in my throat and pain in my chest. I'm okay. I'm always okay. And that's what I wrote last night in the midst of everything that I was feeling. I very much use creativity as a way to get out a lot of my feelings. I've always written and doodled and colored and done all these things to help me center myself. I think my nervous system is truly shot, and it's really hard for me to find a balance with my emotions. And I'm trying so hard, and sometimes it's just an eruption and I have to figure out how to deal with it. I actually ended up doodling more in my book too. This is one I just started, but I did this one last night. I did another one last night, and this is like this. I started doing this while I was feeling the anxiety build up, hoping putting my mind to work would help me, but then I ended up having a full-on attack. And did I do another one? I know I did a few before I had my panic attack. Oh, I just retraced this. This is one that I have already done. And then I already did this one too. And it wasn't enough. I ended up having a full-on attack anyways, but that's kind of like what I try to do to deal with it. Also, going out today and seeing people and seeing life helps me not be so in my head. I'm not sure if that was like part of my husband's plan. It probably was, but it does help me, and I'm appreciative that I got out of the house for a little bit, even though I still felt pretty sick doing so. I'm just thankful that last week I had a pretty good week. This week I am pretty annoyed with myself because I try not to be hard on myself because I know being chronically ill is not my fault. So I can think rationally and be like, it's not my fault. But the hard part for me is then anxiety feels like a whole different person that comes in and tries to take over and completely decide the way I'm going to move, process, and deal with all of this stuff. And it's very aggravating because my rational side is like, no, you know this is not your fault. You know you're okay. You know you can fight. But the anxiety, it makes me panic and scared. And I am on medications. I'm also on medication for depression because it's a lot to deal with being chronically ill every day and being like, okay, I'm gonna wake up, but I'm gonna have to take meds for the rest of my life in order to function. And no matter what, I'm gonna have some type of aches and pains. Like, right, just sitting here talking to you guys, my back is hurting me so much. I feel so nauseous, and I have a headache, and I have all the meds in me that I can have. I know that, well, you can see this too. I'm wearing my braces, and all I did today was go to the grocery store quickly with my husband, and I rolled in the room, you know? And so the depression comes in because it's like, I'm never gonna be able to change that. All I can do is manage it. I don't even want to get into if I ever started thinking about what other people might view me as because I'm sick, because then that brings in a whole other element, and I have learned to let that crap go, because at one point I wanted to prove to everyone that I was okay and I wasn't sick, and I didn't want anyone to think that I was taking advantage of the situation or I was making a bigger deal than it was. And I've really learned to just be like, this is what it is, and you can either be here or not be here, and that's it. I think a lot of this, all of us go through, but it's really hard to put words to it in order for it to make sense to other people and to ourselves. And this is part of the reason why I make these videos. I make these videos not only to share, but for myself, because if I'm feeling a certain kind of way, I can look back and hopefully I've articulated it well enough that I am able to comprehend what I was feeling then and what I may be feeling at that moment. But also other people that are in my life can watch this if they want to, and they can try to understand. Of course, it's their choice. Sorry, my son's disciplining one of our dogs. But I guess that's like the whole thought process of what happened last night. I really am trying to not be upset with myself, because I know that, like, I'm a fighter. Like, I know I can manage this. I know I can. It just makes me really, really, really upset when the simplest things are feeling impossible for me. And there's some symptoms that I just, like, POTS feels horrible. The heartbeat and the shortness in breath and like not feeling stable, and my body starts to sweat. And like I've said before, some people pass out, some people start throwing up, my body starts shutting down and I start throwing up. And I've learned how to stop myself from getting to that point, because then all of that happens and I'm still dealing with the pain that I experience and the nausea and any other, my wrist and my finger and everything else, it's still happening. So it only makes everything bigger and more intense. And it gets to the point where it's like, okay, I'm completely overwhelmed. I think the hardest thing is for me, like, I've said this before, but my family. I want to do so much for them. Like, we haven't vacationed in like forever because it's just way too scary to take me and my unpredictable health. I feel like we would need like a whole other camper to pull behind the car just for all of my just in case I get sick stuff. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's too much. And then some days I can walk fine and some days I can't walk because of my POTS. And sometimes I can get out of bed and help. And sometimes I am in way too much pain to even pick up a plate, you know? It's just, there's so much unpredictability that we're unable to plan an outing of any type, even when we're close to home. Like, I was at a birthday party and I had to sleep in the guest room. I wasn't even out of the house for a full day and I had to do that. So how am I gonna plan a vacation with my family? And then I feel like I am taking away from them because of that. And that's a whole other mental battle. Oops. I have that notebook right here that I read I guess I would call it a poem. This is really a heavy weight to carry. And I know for a lot of people it's hard to understand, but like the people that take care of us and the people that are actually like me that have it know the difficulty in finding any type of like peace. And then the peace is easily taken away a lot of times through like what I experienced yesterday of simply trying on clothes and becoming so symptomatic that I got sick, which led into a panic attack, which led into me feeling inadequate. And if you watch the very beginning of this video, you would have no clue that's what I went through last night, because we fake it till we make it. We mask, and sometimes we don't share. And so you saw an upbeat person trying their best and being chronically ill. But there's another side to this of being chronically ill and being alone in your room, and you're wondering if you'll ever get to be the person you pictured for yourself and for your family. So there's a lot of layers to it, and the mental health part can be so tiring and difficult. I'm really struggling. I am going to get, so I already have my opiate in me. I have ibuprofen. I've already rubbed the CBD balm on me. Sorry. I already rubbed the CBD balm on me, but I'm gonna rub some more because I'm in still a lot of pain. And like I've said before, I hold a lot of tension in my neck. And my hips. I also do it in my jaw. Sorry for the smacking. I know it's gross, but it's either that or my nausea or throwing up, and I don't prefer the other two. Okay, so it looks like once again my illness is choosing the time for me to get going. So I hope you guys are doing okay. How are you emotionally? How are you holding up? What do you do to help you with some of those emotions that are overwhelming? Just let's keep on talking. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have a good day or night. Take care.